How often do you have the chance to sit in a room or across the table from faces that don't look like yours to discuss the elephants in the room, race, cultural differences, reconciliation? Well, those conversations are happening this summer across the region, and they're using a backdrop, a platform of art, specifically quilts. Therefore, the name Story Quilt Community Conversations. The first location to volunteer to host a conversation, the Wyoming Fine Arts Center in Wyoming. The small Cincinnati suburb, which is approximately 83% white, has been working with the neighboring village of Woodlawn, which is approximately 67% black, to create more connections. Residents from both communities and beyond attended the first conversation.
Are people going to come? Let's just start there. Are people going to be comfortable enough to come?
And good evening. If you'll take your seats.
Many did come and were eager for the night ahead.
Tonight is about speaking your truth and sharing your stories. Thank you for being here this evening, and let's welcome Kathy Wade from Learning Through Art.
Learning Through Art is a nonprofit that well-known jazz artist Kathy Wade started. She uses art in various forms, from visual to vocal, as a teaching tool. And it's the tool being used for this Truth and Reconciliation project.
Because it's such a personal thing, my hope is that just by having the opportunity to sit next to somebody and comfortably, and I use that word very gingerly, but being able to just start the conversation without saying, it's your fault, it's your fault. You have to some point say, okay, this is on me. Each individual has to be able to say, it is on me. If I want to change, I have to make it.
The conversations start in various ways, like story quilts. Dr. CAROLYN MAZLOOMI creates, curates, and collects quilts that tell a story like these.
This is one of the reasons you're here today, to create work about your concerns and aspirations, your hopes and dreams surrounding race unity and reconciliation.
She is the founder of the Women of Color Quilters Network. Most of the quilts focus on issues of social justice. She curated an exhibit in Minneapolis following the death of George Floyd called We Are the Story, a visual response to racism.
It's in this instance, for this series of exhibitions, it was not about just us. It was about everybody who had a heartfelt concern about finding a remedy and trying to understand whatever it is about racism and how we can live together in harmony. There are people that want that. And it cuts across race, it cuts across culture. That's evident in We Are the Story.
She put out a call for story quilts, and they came in from around the country, even internationally. Highlights from the exhibit are on display now at the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center as part of this Truth and Reconciliation project.
People often ask, why do I use quilts to tell this story? We have a relationship with the cloth from cradle to grave. It's the first thing we're swathed in at birth. It's the last thing to touch our bodies upon our death. So to me, it's an easy way with quilts to tell a most difficult story, and that's the story of racism and its history here in America.
So the idea is for those taking part in the conversations to also create quilt squares that convey a feeling, meaning, or message. But first, a chance to know a little more about each other. Facilitators open the sessions with an icebreaker, having everyone introduce themselves by revealing something you wouldn't know about them just by seeing them. It's their unseen cultural identity.
So I'm Sheena J. Dunn, and my unseen identifier is I am biracial.
I'm Jamie Trinka, and my unseen identifier is I grew up in rural poverty.
Others identified as being raised in a foster home, having chronic illnesses, or surviving postpartum depression. They also had a chance to create their own ground rules for the night.
Listen intently, that's a great one. Do not judge, that's a good one. Open your heart, all right? I think this is a great set of rules to work with. I'm gonna suggest that we might wanna add one more to complement the listening piece, and that is everyone participates, everyone talks. So no one gets to only listen. We are all doing this labor together.
As for what to consider for their squares,
So when you're doing this quilting square, we want you to think about your marginalized voices. The voices that don't get heard, the marginalized identities that you hold, those experiences, those things that you went through that reminded you about how you were so marginalized in this area.
then to the tables, where the creating and conversing begins. So what if what's happening here in Cincinnati becomes a national model? Coming up. The Story Quilts project is not just an experiment here in Cincinnati. It's actually part of a national pilot to figure out a process of truth and reconciliation. It's being conducted by the Center for Community Resilience at George Washington University. The director there, Dr. Wendy Ellis, is a Cincinnati native, and she wanted to bring that project here to what she calls the Shores of Freedom to get it started.
And so a process of truth and reconciliation isn't just telling the truth and bleeding the truth and crying over the truth. It is actually helping us to understand that which must be repaired and how we move forward and how all of us have a role in that. And the reconciliation process is accepting those truths, not running from them, accepting the pain, but also accepting and realizing the promise of moving forward.
Creating quilts and having conversations. Coming up next, what was said and what wasn't said around the table and how it all impacts the next generation.
You know, we do have concerns, right? You know, about how her future will shape itself.
When it comes to taboo topics we're told to avoid, politics and religion are high on the list, but so is race. But this summer, a pilot program is putting race and reconciliation back on the table. As the participants move to their tables with people they likely just met, they work together to share tools and begin making their quilt squares and get a better understanding of what the quilt should be.
Is that what our squares?
It's whatever it is that you feel is a representation of how you feel about these conversations and identities. This is abstract as all as you want it to be, and it can come back down as far as you would like it to be too.
As they get comfortable, the conversations come.
I grew up in a small town. We have a lot of families that we embrace.
They are systematically trying to just shut that down, just, pretend like that did not exist.
After the event, I had a chance to talk to Sam Cooper and Sharon Lamb, who sat at the same table. Cooper is a board member at the Wyoming Fine Arts Center. Culturally, he identifies as biracial and Jewish, African American heritage on his mom's side, Jewish on his dad's side.
I think it was really worthwhile. It was just meaningful to talk about serious things like that with people that you don't know. I mean, that's just not something, it's something that, my family does perhaps, but not necessarily, with people you just met.
I was impressed how diverse it was, really.
Lamb has lived in Cincinnati for almost 40 years and attended out of curiosity.
So the quilting brought you in. That was what kind of...
The quilting brought me in, and plus I was interested to see what the conversation was going to be.
The Hampton, Virginia native and Hampton University grad considers that part of her identity. It was even a connection with another participant at the table. Several at the table told of encounters with racism. Lamb didn't share any of hers, like when a former coworker called her a racially derogatory name.
Things that we go through every day, and sometimes it's to the point where we ask ourselves, is this really happening because I'm Black, or what is it? You know, sometimes we can become paranoid about it, I guess, because it happens so often.
Kevin Gilly sat at a different table and also is a board member. He says he and his family are currently on a journey. One of his grandchildren has a father who is South African, and
part of my family, we think, go back to Jamestown time in the United States. I was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. Other family members out of North Carolina, and there appears to be some records that we at some point owned some slaves.
he says he wants to be part of the solutions to make things better, and he wants deeper, richer conversations.
You kind of left there wanting to hear more, wanting to talk more.
Yeah. Wanted to get a little deeper.
More conversations are planned around town. We'll tell you where they are coming up. Also, how music plays a role in the conversation. For years, vocalist Kathy Wade has been performing a one-woman jazz show, but this year it will be part of the Story Quilts project.
In that performance, we've taken the program, which I normally do as a one-woman show and a pianist. We've added the Cincinnati Boy Choir, Revolution Dance Theater, Elements, and the Cincinnati Public Schools Jazz Academy. Why? Because I need families to join us so that they have a point of entry into this conversation using the music of jazz and showing how its history, how its development and history parallels the history and the framing of America. And if jazz can continue to be as resilient and as viable in this culture, so can you. You can use jazz as a metaphor to talk about we can overcome these things, people.
The event takes place Sunday, September 12th at Music Hall. We will include the link for ticket purchases on our website, along with a list of upcoming Story Quilt community conversations and how to register. Here are some of the quilts that were made in Wyoming. Following each Story Quilt community conversation, the squares will be used to create a quilt that the community gets to keep. The hope is it will hang in a location to be seen and to keep the conversation going. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we plan to keep the cultural conversations going as well. Watch for more stories on WCPO 9 News. I'm Lisa Smith. Have a great evening.